Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, and we back with some more. This time, we're reacting to pretty much the whole PlayStation situation of them announcing that they're done with every disc video game, disc physical copies, fucking you owning shit essentially, you as the gamer owning a product as of 2028. And I think they purposefully made sure it was like 2 year uh after announcement sort of thing because they knew it was a big deal. They knew it was going to be a problem, and gamers were going to be outraged. And as much as people like digital, it's for convenience. People like the option, man. Me especially, I was definitely I like physical collections, man. I like to have my game and see all the game arts and switch the games and all that. I like to do that. But I just figured this was worth a watch, so let's get into
The
it.
online discourse, and let's be honest, the backlash against what PlayStation has announced of no more physical media is being felt all throughout the internet and potentially the world. It's breaking news, not just in our little bubble, but it's mainstream news on TV, and rightfully so, because this is PlayStation saying that you own nothing. They're positioning the PlayStation 6 as a machine that you will buy, and then you
Dude, I'm not even excited for the PS6.
will only be able to buy games
Especially everything that happened with the PS5.
from them, except the games you buy you do not own in the slightest. They can take those games away from you whenever they want for any reason,
Which is why I never fucked with digital games.
including things like user bans. And since they would control everything, the prices would be higher, there would be no competition, and you would have no control and no ownership. And I'm sorry, but I choose to own my games. So to me, this won't
Me too, man. Here.
fly. And it seems that it doesn't fly for most people. I mean, we've got well-known comedians that are taking a swing at explaining that
Trevor Noah. I didn't realize he weighed in. I completely understand where you're coming from. Okay. Technically free. I personally don't care that there aren't going to be any more physical. Okay, well, I don't care about your opinion. That was easy. Here we go, Trevor Noah. I completely understand where you're coming from, but for a lot of gamers, physical discs are the only way they could afford to play video games because they could get them secondhand. You can also give games to your younger siblings, which is a great way to introduce them to the games you were playing. Most importantly, though, as we saw from PlayStation this past week, if the media we buy is only digital, it can be taken away from us, stripping at a moment's notice with no recourse. Imagine that. One day your entire library of games could be deleted overnight because technically you don't own it. It's bullshit. I have nothing to add to that.
we have French
You nailed the hammer on
politicians,
the
and you
head.
know it's bad when politicians believe that they can take advantage of this. We have Hideo Kojima's tweets from 2021 coming back to haunt us. And we
Jesus,
even
I didn't
have
realize all
Domino's
that.
Pizza UK, which I guess go off Domino's. And despite that,
We need
there's
all the
plenty
help.
of people out there saying that
Everybody
actually
fight.
this
Let's
is good,
boycott.
that the outrage towards this is performative, that people don't actually care about physical media, and that we were already living in an all-digital future. And the amount of misunderstandings that exist about what ownership is, including of digital goods, is baffling to me. And I think we need to make those things clear because this is a critical moment in the history of video games. We've seen it happen before. PlayStation has backed off some of their crazy ideas in the past
Still
just
don't know
because
how
of
that-
public outcry.
Still don't know how that won Game of the Year. Astrobots had bots.
They lost
voting.
the PS3 generation due to hubris and overpricing that console, just like Xbox lost the Xbox One generation because of their DRM on disc policies. And eventually, both of them answered to us, to the customer, and did what we asked
gamer,
of
the
them.
customer.
Because it is so important more than ever to repeat that they are nothing without us. They need us to exist. But among the latest news and headlines, we also have IGN reporting that this might already be irreversible, that PlayStation has taken steps already into this digital future.
Fuck that. They need to go ahead and take some steps back then, is what it seems like to me. It ain't never too late. Fuck you, IGN. Who asked you to weigh in anyway?
Gutting half of an entire
Useless bastards.
production facility for
Here to fuel the fire and offer zero solutions. I hate people like that.
discs and repurposing it for micro lenses. That what is happening here is too big of a change for them to backpedal now. And so as the news is breaking and more places are covering the fact that maybe there's nothing to be done, I want to stand here and
just imagine a guy was in the corner. Like, let's say you're facing a huge problem. Look, guys, how is society gonna eat? We're the last 30 people, and everyone's trying to find out solutions. And there's this one guy in the side of the corner, in the background, in the distance, just screaming, "Yeah, but you forgot about the youth. What happens when we start having kids? That's gonna require more food. Yeah, but what about weather? Da 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 da. Yeah, but you can't do that because eventually everybody should turn to him and fucking say, damn, nigga, you only really coming with conflict and problems and you're not helping any of us. Why are you here? Good idea. You should get the fuck out of here. You're no loss, nigga. You're no loss. Because you only come with conflict.
Say that there is plenty that
You will not be missed.
we can do. There's more to this than the articles online claim. Doesn't matter which articles, except this one by Polygon saying that Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually terrible. Are you okay, Polygon? What shouldn't you be talking about the PlayStation, whatever? And we might not be able
That's how I feel about IGN.
to change PlayStation's mind this time around. But despite what they want for us to create an environment where we have no control and no choice, we have a choice and we have a way to fight back. So today I want to talk about digital ownership, about
To be honest, gang, I could tell Metroid Prime 4 didn't do well because I also own the game and just forgot about it. But you didn't hear anybody talk about it. And as highly anticipated as this game was, that is fucking criminal. Like, people were salivating at the mouth at the thought of this. And for it to drop and no one say anything, dude. I got stuck in like some part and just literally never bothered looking it up, bro. That's what happened to Metro Prime 4 Beyond should be studied.
why you have alternatives and why, if we make enough noise, this is going
If that's the Metroid where she gets psychic powers, I'm not even familiar enough with Metroid. I'm pretty certain it is though, because it's the purple theme game.
to hurt their bottom line much more than they think. Because there is absolutely
I didn't even make it this far.
zero benefits, zero good things here for customers moving forward. So we either need to stop supporting this or find alternatives that we are okay with. So hi, I'm Mug, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back. You're looking fantastic. I really do think that today. In the face of adversity, we rise up, and I can see it on you, that's for sure. I want to thank you guys for the support on the recent videos. They mean the world. And also, Ironside Computers, the new channel partner, they are also super happy with your overwhelming support. So thank you for that as well. If you like the video at any point, hit the like button because that helps it spread and reach more people. And if you like what I do here, don't subscribe yet. Make sure that what I do is worth it and I earn that subscription. Let's talk about it. Now look, a lot of what this video is
Yeah, I'm gonna earn y'all subscription too. Subscribe.
talking about the
Smash like.
things that people misunderstand and are trying to make us believe. There is a lot of confusion about how harmful this is. Partially, this is constructed in a way to still be easy to understand for you to send to that one friend that really doesn't get it. And the first point that I want to tackle are people saying that if we're going to boycott PlayStation for no physical media and no ownership of our games, we should also boycott PC games, right? Because those are all digital at this point. No, not at all. PC is actually today the bastion of game preservation. PCs are the thing that allow us to guarantee that games are preserved beyond, the potential rot of cartridges, of electronics just not working anymore. And when it comes to modern games, DRM on PC is not only a choice made by developers and not one enforced by the platform holder, because there is none, and that would be the case with PlayStation 6. That DRM that is now present in games because you don't own them and PlayStation can take them away from you, that's enforced by them, not necessarily by the people developing a game. On PC, games that have DRM on Steam is because they choose to have it. Steam is a platform that is designed to work offline indefinitely and leave you access to all of your games no matter what, and even to function well with games that aren't even on Steam.
Just gonna have to have a good enough amount of storage to store a bunch of games on Steam, but yeah, you definitely can.
I would know. I use Steam to play most of
Remember me logged in, verify that all game files are completely updated, launch the game. You would like to play offline to verify there are no further updates or installation required. Shut the game down and return. Go to Steam, select settings, security to ensure they don't save credentials on this computer. Option is not selected. It's like go offline. That's cool.
my emulators because games that you can buy on
Got
Steam.
some troubleshooting. Offline.
I use Steam to play most of my emulators because I really like the way that Steam allows me to do recording. This means that there's a large number of games that you can buy on Steam that you can play without Steam, that you can play without ever using Steam. And if it disappeared tomorrow, the game would still be playable. All you have to do is take the game itself, take that folder, put it on a drive somewhere, keep it safe, and you can double click an executable and play a game. When I know that I can have a hard copy of a game saved somewhere and I could play it 30 years from now off of an executable on a thumb drive, that's mine, and nobody's gonna be able to take it away from me. But this is just when we're talking about Steam.
like
The
physical
most
collections,
important part
I
about
like
the
both.
PC platform is that it's open. Steam is not the PC game provider. You can get your PC games from many different places. Sure, the obvious one here is Good Old Games, completely DRM free, do whatever you want with your game. But the fact that there is a competition in the PC market, be that from Epic Games or Amazon Games Launcher or whatever other launcher you want to find, means that not only does it incentivize competition within the space, the open nature of the platform itself means that there will always be efforts for game preservation and game ownership on it. The ability to continue to play your games no matter what service goes down. And if you don't like any of the options there, or nobody is providing you an adequate option for that, we know that the PC community is always trying to keep games available and alive no matter what, even through abandonware sites. Ownership in this case is about you retaining access, no matter what, to something that you paid for. What PlayStation is doing is completely removing that. They will control if you do or don't have access to things you paid for. They will control until when you have access, and they can take it away from you for any reason. You own nothing. And I don't believe that we should give that money. On PC, in many cases, even with games that launch with DRM are later patched down the line to take out some of that DRM, I can guarantee my access to the game I purchased. I can guarantee that access indefinitely by just putting that game somewhere and letting it live there. No need for anything else. So no, you cannot compare the digital ownership of PC games with the digital ownership of future PlayStation games or even PlayStation games today. They are not similar in any way because of all of the context surrounding them, because of how PCs work, and because an executable that I can just have on a drive is not the same as an executable that depends on PlayStation allowing me to access it through their own accounts. Okay, so what about physical media? Do we need physical media then? So many people are happy with the sense of ownership that we have on PC. Doesn't it make sense then to take away discs? Well, no, not when a platform holder holds all the power. In the case of PC, that open market and the open nature of PCs means that we can circumvent a lot of the problems of ownership by the very nature of it. But when it comes to a closed platform, something like PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch, physical media is very important in order to have ownership rights. Let me present it to you this way. Nintendo has gotten a ton of hate, including from myself, for doing game keycards instead of having the games fully available on the cartridge. Today, a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 games don't actually come on the cartridge. All that cartridge does is allow you to connect to Nintendo servers and download the game. But even a game keycard is considerably better than no physical media at all. Sure, the ideal is something like this, which I just popped out of my Switch 2. This is Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's here. It's always going to be here, to be on this little card. This means that the world could end tomorrow. Nintendo could go bankrupt, all of the servers disappear in a massive accident, and I could still pop this into my console and play it. No internet required. And that is not true for game keycards. Game keycards have to download from a server, but that's still an important distinction. The fact that I own a game keycard means that I have something of actual value. That game keycard isn't tied to my Nintendo account, like what Xbox wanted to do with the Xbox One. I can take a game keycard and give it to a friend, and he can pop it into his Switch, download the game, and play it. I can resell that game in whatever way I want through whatever service or company. And sure, one day in the future,
That's a huge point too. Reselling things.
inevitably, the
being
servers
able to
will be
resell
down.
things.
We know this
One thing you can always fall on when things get tough with money is a physical game collection. Quick liquid with money. Quick liquid.
as a track record with Nintendo, and we will not be able to download the games that came on a game keycard. Probably, 15, 20 years in the future. But that game keycard still serves as proof of ownership, which is something very important. In many countries
I got Air Riders too, but I never played a single race. I just did time trial. City trial.
around the world, emulation is considered legal
Races are
as
fun,
long
though.
as you own the hardware and you own
I
the
just don't wanna
software.
do racing
And a
and
game
stuff. I don't like
keycard
traditional racing
still
games.
constitutes proof of ownership,
like that
meaning
traditional
that you
still
could legally
racing.
emulate the games that you have on game
Playing a
key
basketball
cards
video
and
game.
nobody could tell you anything. Meanwhile, on the
Basketball in real life.
PlayStation 6 side of things, you buying the digital revocable license that PlayStation is selling you does not give you any proof of ownership. And if PlayStation were to take away those games, make them disappear, and say that they still own them, you could not emulate them, and they would be free to legally pursue you, take down a video of you, ban you, whatever thing they would like to do legally against you. Because you legally do not own the game. You own the license that they took away with the rights that they had, so you cannot play the game in any way, but not when you have physical media, because that proof of ownership allows you in many places to do whatever you want once you have paid for the game. So this isn't me defending game keycards and saying that they are great. What I'm saying is that they are way better than the alternative, especially if we're moving towards a world where, hey, maybe games are too big and maybe the physical ways of storing them are just not convenient. Even if that does, go up against certain issues with stuff like data caps and internet access, if it's just not viable to have games come on physical media, the idea of a physical key
They could always make it viable, but I guess I can kind of sort of see your point when I squint.
that gives you access to them is still a way to circumvent a lot of the problems with digital rights and ownership, because by having a physical key, you have proof of ownership, and that gives you as a customer a ton of rights that disappear as soon as everything is digital. Obviously, the other big problem is the walled garden. And you see, not only can I resell my Nintendo Switch 2 game key cards, but I can buy them from wherever I want. And very often, especially today, as the prices of things are completely out of control, I will find deals on games from competing retailers. At the moment, despite the fact that Nintendo, well, they say they made the digital games cheaper, what they actually did was raise the price of physical. So a lot of upcoming games from Nintendo are $70 digital and $80 physical. So you
You
have
just talk about how we have 0 ads so far, thanks to your boy Brave and Jay finally using Brave. Thank you. Oh, let me take this call.
to pay a premium for those physical benefits, but because retailers want to compete, many of them are offering those physical editions of the game for the same price as digital at the same $70 price point. And that physical version of the game still has those extra points of value. Not to mention that I did applaud Nintendo when they did announce it for the Switch 2, the digital card system that allows you to lend games within your family group. That is miles better than what their competition is doing in the console space. But my point here is that since it's not looking likely that we will have important political reform regarding customers' right to digital ownership, a very easy way to circumvent this problem is to at least offer physical keys. Not keys as in a piece of paper that you put into the stupid PlayStation store. No, something that you insert into a machine or that a machine reads with a scanner, whatever you want, that confirms that you own this title, and it automatically, without needing any other validation, downloads that to the console and allows you to play it. There's a lot of benefits to that system, and in many ways, for as much as we dislike the changes, the game keycard system is way more forward-thinking and customer-centric than just taking it all away like PlayStation is doing. A premature thing that we are just not legally prepared for. But as I was mentioning, with price competitions, there will be none. The price will be dictated by PlayStation. Developers and publishers will have to go through them to put their games on sale to lower their price or to vie for good positioning of them on the store. And they will make money by charging publishers for banners on the PlayStation Store. They will make a lot of money by controlling everything end to end, compared to you having the choice of going to whatever retailer you prefer in order to buy a game. Even if that game were to come on physical media, like a game keycard that doesn't actually hold the game, it's still important for that competition to exist. And that competition, that resale market, that ability to lend games to people is more important today than it has ever been. The general economy is not okay. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people can't make ends meet. A lot of people can't pay rent. And for a lot of people, video games mean a heck of a lot. The ability for the things that you buy to have value and for you to be able to resell them or buy them used at a discount, to lend them to a friend in order for you to maybe even potentially buy a game among friends to split the cost and then all of you play it at different turns. These solutions to economic problems that have always been there don't suddenly disappear just because PlayStation says that they want it to be all digital. People are struggling, but they still deserve to be happy and to play games. We as humans have a right to be happy, brother. And if to be happy, we play video games, if that's the poison we choose to escape sometimes the horrible parts of life, we should get to do that on our own terms and in a way that fits our budgets. That's why these options have always been there. When I was a kid, my family was not wealthy. We were not doing well financially. Not as bad as we've had it later on, but definitely not doing well either. But ever since I was a kid, my cousins gave me their hand-me-down consoles and games. I don't remember a point in my life where I wasn't playing video games. From the point of where I have memory, I have owned a Sega Genesis that my cousin gave me. Not just a Sega Genesis, but a stack of physical games. From there, as new consoles came out, new game generations happened, I would continue to get their games. I would get an N64 with another huge stack of games. I would get a PS1 with a huge binder of pirated games. And this allowed me to explore video games. This was, to me, I realize now, an embarrassment of riches, thanks to the generosity of my cousins. From hand-me-down cartridges to those pirated PS1 games, I had probably hundreds of games. And I would spend evenings after school looking through that PS1 binder, looking at games that were mislabeled and diving headfirst into crazy RPGs that I didn't know what I was even playing. And because of that, it sparked this love of video games for me that has never disappeared. And I would not be here talking to you about customer rights and the importance of physical media if it hadn't been there for me. And I don't want that to disappear for the next generation. In Christmas of 2028, I don't want to give my niece a video game by having her turn on her PlayStation 5 and loading up my credit card to download something. I want her to unwrap an actual box and be excited.
Sorry about that, y'all.
If I ever have kids one day, they'll be able to play hundreds.
I was listening to the points he was making, though. I mean, he was talking about how they were not well off when he was young, and neither were we. You know, no one was really, the average person wasn't super financially, well, maybe they were. I don't know, but there's a lot of people that have a story about not doing well financially in their family, you know. And physical copies, another valid reason. I don't feel the need to lay out each and every reason as to why this is a good thing to keep around. You know it's a good thing to keep around. I know it. She knows it. You also know that this is more convenient for the fucking billionaires, millionaires, and why do y'all care about them? Is it nostalgia that you feel for these games and IPs, so you associate that love with the fucking developers? Or not even so much the developers that deserve that hate. The corporations capitalizing off of millions of copies sold of these games. They don't care about you and me. And I've got a call to action for you guys towards the end of this video. But I feel like I understand laying out each and every point to try and convince the average Joe, or the average person is stupid. So let's just look at it as informational, or, you know, that sort of thing. But as far as me trying to convince you, it's a problem, bruh. We know why it's important to keep these games around physically, bruh. And I don't know. There's really only one valid reason I seen them transitioning it out, games being so incredibly large. But with games like Crimson Desert and Elden Ring and all these crazy fucking huge worlds, you're not convincing me that we can't do something to format that shit on a disc or something of some sort similar. But
games that
I
I've
understand it all.
collected that I care for. And despite PlayStation saying that this is over with,
collect and care
that we
for it.
don't have access to these things anymore, I refuse to live in a world where
I'm not gonna be a Sony consumer. I'm boycotting the whole company. Fuck y'all
my
headphones.
grandchildren don't get to do that with
I was using they headphones before AirPods for a while. I put my uncle onto them shits, and I don't have them shits no more. Perfect timing, I guess.
my children's games.
Nintendo, Sony is sad. All these fucking companies we grew up loving
Because I'm sick and tired of
for what they did for us for selfish reasons, but the love was there.
corporations treating
They
something
stomped on our hearts.
that matters artistically, culturally, emotionally to people exclusively like a business. To the point that even down to the most basic economic fundamentals of ownership, to the rights that we have as customers, they are throwing it away in order to maximize their profits. Somebody in the comments of my last video called me out and said, when was the last time that I bought a physical copy? Well, Bonanza's one of them. But here's Ghost of Yote. If PlayStation would have put out more games, I would buy them physically because I don't buy console games digitally. Is how you know I'm a gamer? Astrobot's in here. I care about my physical game. I care about my limited edition for Fire Emblem Fates because it's the only way to own on a physical cartridge all 3 of the games. Because Revelation otherwise was released only digitally as DLC, but not if you own this version. Here is a brand new sealed copy of No Man's Sky 1.0 on PS4. This is for preservation purposes. Here's the GTAs. I can play them. You can't stop me. I own them. And just like that, I own hundreds of games that I have carefully, meticulously set up around my house, organized in alphabetical order because I care about this. And it's not wrong for me to care. We are allowed to care for things, to think they're important. We are allowed to want things and to be opposed when things we want disappear. So to me, this is very simple. We as customers have to demand right now digital ownership rights, change in legislation that clearly indicates what we own and what we don't own, and that pressures companies like PlayStation to rewrite what it means to sell a license and to make it revocable, or revocable if you prefer. I don't really care. And since that's very unlikely to happen, we demand some sort of physical alternative. I'm not saying we need a disc with the game fully loaded in at this point. I understand that at this point that ship might have sailed. That ship might have sailed already with video games that don't even come playable on the disc because they can't function with a day one.
Wait, I was just talking about this game. I've been playing a lot of it. This game requires its day one patch in order to play it. I also recommend patching it. The patches make it better. Yeah, no, it had a long ass update when I first inserted Crimson Desert. I have the physical copy. I can show you it right now. Let me see actually. All right. This is the physical copy of Crimson Desert. It comes in a nice little sleeve. This is the Stellar Book Edition. So you can just kind of get a nice idea of what it's like to have a physical copy of games. This is an experience you don't get with a digital copy. I open it up. Whole game art, little bonuses and stuff. Oh, shit, I just looked at that. I have DLC on this. I need to download that shit. Fuck. But you get my point, man. This is why Having a hard copy is so important. And back in the day when we were younger, we had booklets that would come with the game too. Game booklets. Who remembers getting a new game and just opening the case, smelling that plastic smell? I'm sure it's just armor of the DLC or something. Or maybe not, because this is the premium edition. Smelling that plastic and just flipping through that little game booklet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm literally playing Crimson Desert right now. That's why the game is not in there. But it's
patch and that come with that little notice of like online connection required to make them work. I get it. We've been there for a while, but the existence of physical media still serves as proof of ownership and as customer rights. And the moment that you take that away, eliminate all competition, and force everything to be digital, we as customers are completely screwed, and we should not take it. So all of this noise, all of these news, all of the people speculating on the legal repercussions of this, the potential that PlayStation might not turn this around, sure, have at it. I want this discourse to continue, but I also want to make it clear right now that if they do not change something, we should all leave to the competition. I don't care who you choose. Oh, but PC's all digital. No, the chapter's down below. You can rewind. You can understand that if you want. All right. And if you don't want to, I mean, just fine. Be a PlayStation bootlicker. I'm not going to change your mind, but go.
They exist. We seen it firsthand when Nintendo announced the Switch 2 price and all the shit with the Switch 2. Those guys exist, bro. That shit is crazy.
Elsewhere, anywhere else that gives you what you want. Take a hard stance on this. And my commitment to this is very simple. I will cover PlayStation games as long as they release them physically. The moment that stops, I will not. The moment that stops, so do I.
I agree. If I'm not getting the game for free, I'm not supporting PlayStation after this.
If none of this changes, and hopefully,
if nothing changes.
Hopefully, thanks to you, this channel is still around with me talking about games and reviewing video games come 2028. I will not buy a PlayStation 6 and I will not cover anything on it. I'll cover the news and talk trash about it and continue to fight it until I physically can, but I will not be buying a PlayStation 6. It's that simple. I'll keep championing PC games and indie games, and as long as Nintendo offers me physical media, and as long as Xbox, whatever that dumpster fire is, with their ideas of digitizing your physical games or whatever, as long as they give me paths to ownership, I will
have my Series X sitting right down here, and that shit has a disk drive. Trust.
Cover that.
Battlefield 6 in that bitch. I gotta play that
as well, which I mean seems kind of inevitable because they're just making a PC. But PlayStation will be dead to me, and I say this as a person that easily owns over 200 physical PS4 games. But I'm done. I'm done with their bullshit. I'm done with them skewing the numbers of how many people play digital in order to make it look like this is the logical decision. Them ignoring the fact that it's not a fair fight when you don't compare between the physical sold and digital sold of the same game. They're just comparing total digital, which includes games that were never sold physically. They don't separate that between live service games and single player stories. All they want is to justify a move that is way too aggressive and that needs to be punished immediately by a complete shift in the market. Don't let go of the things you care about. Don't let go of the things you believe in. It's okay to want to own things, and don't let them tell you otherwise. And to me, this is very simple. I'm going to choose to own my games no matter what. So I've been Mug. Thank you so much for watching. And if this video was informative, help.
Yo, this was a great video. Shout out to Mug. Appreciate you guys for bearing with me a little bit throughout. I had to take that call. You know how it goes. But we got the purpose here. The call to action really is just to stand for something, just like this guy was saying. I really hope you guys don't teeter-totter on the topic and seriously get on this. And I really hope you pick the right side, which is our side, our point, sticking with the physical games. I was really happy to go to PlayStation's comments, and they posted like a Marvel's Rivals video or Marvel Rivals video or whatever. And it was just a whole bunch of people boycotting them in the comments and expectingly, you know what I'm saying? As they should. I'm so tired of these fucking bootlickers, like he said. People kissing up to corporations, million-dollar companies is fucking retarded. Teachers' pets, like, even though you already have everything and we made you what you are and made you at anything, I'm going to just, anytime you shit in my mouth, I'll simply open and eat it. It's like any Trump supporter. How do you brainwash? I've had this talk before. How do you brainwash a person so thoroughly that you can do no wrong or harm or foul in their eyes? What can you say? What can you do for a person that no matter what you do to them, they will never see you in a negative light or look at you with begrudging eyes? How do you do that? How do you brainwash someone so thoroughly that you can shit in their mouth and they eat it and smile? I've got to know. Tell me the sauce, Trump. Appreciate y'all, yo. I'm out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, because it's the only way we're going to grow. That you got to let the youth grow, and a young man trying to grow.